Hi, I am Dr. Norman Lorenz, part of the Sarasota University faculty for the Master's Program in Montessori Education. I welcome you to this spring semester course, Education 621. We will be focusing on culturally responsive education. You will be receiving an email to the content links in relationship to the syllabus, which will contain my resume, vitae, the research that I've done in my doctoral dissertation on Montessori education, my Strength Finder qualities. As you well know, the Sarasota University is a Strength Finders based institution. There you will find my indicators as well as my biography. The email will in detail describe the syllabus in relationship to the course content, the textbook requirements, for which we'll be reading the Culture Reboot book as our major focus, and I'll talk a little bit more about that as we get down to the content expectations for the first set of assignments over this next week. It will discuss the program learning outcomes as well as the course objectives that I'm going to ask you to include in your introduction essay about who you are, why you're here, what you would like to gain from this course, and two of the objectives that you would really like to focus on specifically as you evolve your leadership. There will be library links that are in the syllabus as well as in the Sycamore Learning Management System, so please make yourself familiar with those. As we go through the course, obviously through the online community, we'll be sharing our perspectives via the discussion boards, and I want to remind you, as it's indicated in the syllabus, that netiquette, as we call it, the electronic feature of etiquette, is that we are in a virtual classroom. That environment is prepared for us to provide an open-minded opportunity for each of us to take into perspective one another's value systems, the cultural responses that we may have perhaps different than others, and with that comes the importance for respect. That is a cornerstone of the tenets of Dr. Maria Montessori. And so I simply ask that we be mindful of those features. That indirectly connects to the student engagement agreement form that you'll find in the link to the Google Drive resources. And I would ask that each of you review that document and be prepared to come to class prepared, at least virtually speaking. Be willing to present conversation for discussion, because the more that we invest in that open mindset specification, the more the culturally responsive features will come out of our own indicators that we can then serve the community and ultimately the children. There will be information and resources around student services that's indicated in the syllabus, and then the features of technology. I'm asking each of you certainly to use the Sycamore Learning Management System to turn in your assignments. However, additionally, I would like for you each to create your Google Drive portfolio folder for Education 621, which is the culturally responsive education. In doing so, you will see a resource folder link that I've shared with you that has all of the materials necessary for this course, and equally I would like you to create your folder, share it with me so that I can see that you're building your portfolio for these resources as you take these resources out into your leadership scope in the future. It will also discuss the course outline, and that's really where it gets into the module expectations and assignments. The final grading formula and university grading policies will be located there. Speaking of expectations, that gets us into our first assignment. We will be looking at, over the next week, school culture and how it impacts student outcomes. And in relationship to that, the textbook that I'm asking you to obtain is called Culture Reboot. And it's going to offer us a very unique perspective. And as you read it, you will notice one thing, that it's missing Montessori. And when the book talks about reboot, I would like to engage you as student learners and colleagues, in which we're all electronic learners together, is to develop our own community from the standpoint that, does Montessori really need a reboot? Or is this book referencing the traditional aspects of education, public or private, parochial or otherwise, as it relates to the fact that Montessori is premier in building culture through the community of the school, of the prepared environment, and thus conducive to children's experiences as parent involvement and engagement, and the broader community values the importance of a holistic education. So I will prompt those kinds of things as we read through these chapters. So each Friday, you will experience an email communication from me. It will have new postings and expectations. Those will be, again, distributed via email. In relationship to the requirements are really to create your assignments in the Google Drive, that be the repository of where you author all of your materials. You share those with me so that at any point in time, if you or I may have difficulties with the learning management system, which is where you're going to upload into the Dropbox for the purposes of grades, however, these things will be available to you in resource beyond the course. I want you to build your portfolio and then turn in the assignments to the Sycamore learning management system. All right. Ordinarily on Fridays from 1 to 2, which is Pacific Standard Time, I live in California. I will be available for office hours, although email and chat, you can essentially contact me through phone, email, chat, and or video conferencing via the Google Hangout over the next 6 weeks and beyond. That once you're a student of mine, we are always in contact for purposes of questions and clarifications as they come about. I look forward to working and learning with each of you. The best to you as we launch this course and extend our knowledge as power in educating and servicing the children and their community through the offering of what you and I then provide in peace education and ultimately a holistically cultural place of reverence, respect, trust, and empowerment for a better tomorrow. I hope you enjoy this class as we work together over these next 8 weeks. Again, if you have any questions, you can look to the syllabus, contact information, and be in touch, or simply reply to the email that I'm going to send out with this link. Thank you so much, and I look forward to meeting you virtually through communications on the web. Take care.